All right, here we are going to solve a rational equation. The first thing you probably want to do is get rid of all the division. So this is really nice. To get rid of division by x, you're going to multiply both sides of the equation by x. So we're taking x and we're multiplying it by the left side of the equation, which is x plus 4. And you're taking x times the right side of the equation. So if you've seen, we just multiplied both sides of the equation by x. Now we're going to distribute. Here we get x squared plus 4x equals, and when you're multiplying in a fraction, multiplication always goes to the numerator. So this x is just being multiplied by the numerator. So it's 45 times x is 45x divided by x. Over here, the right side, x divided by x cancel each other. So now we see our division is gone. We get x squared plus 4x equals 45. Now, this is a quadratic equation. It was a rational equation. We got rid of the division by x, and now we have a quadratic. To solve the quadratic, we set it equal to 0, because if you have a quadratic, which means you have an x squared, your first step is to set it equal to 0. So we're going to subtract 45 on both sides. All right, and we end up with x squared plus 4x minus 45 equals 0. Now we need to factor this thing. Almost everything, especially when we're talking about the test here, will factor. If it doesn't factor, you would have to use quadratic formula. Luckily, this one factors. We need two numbers that multiply to negative 45 and add to 4. Okay, and hopefully at this point, you're pretty good at factoring, but I'm going to write everything out. You got 1 and 45. Well, it has to be negative, so one of these has to be negative, and since we're adding to a positive, the bigger one has to be positive. The 1 has to be negative. Well, it doesn't matter because that's just 44. It's not 4. It doesn't work anyway. The next one's going to be negative 3 and positive 15, which is going to give us 12. We're still not there yet. Then we have negative 5 and 9. Here we go. Negative 5 plus 9 is 4. This is the pair of numbers that we wanted because it's the pair of numbers that multiply to negative 45 and to 4. And because there is no coefficient in front of the x squared, we can just use the shortcut, which is going to be x minus 5, x plus 9 equals 0. Now we split it up, either x minus 5 equals 0 or x plus 9 equals 0. Add 5, x equals 5, subtract 9, we get x equals negative 9. Now, the only thing we need to be careful of, because it is a rational equation, because we have division by x, we just have to make sure we can actually do the division. Can we do, if we plug in x equals negative 5, can we do 45 divided by 5? The answer is yes. The only number we can't divide by is 0. Can we do 45 divided by negative 9? Yes. If we got division by 0, then it wouldn't work. As long as we don't get division by 0, they do work. So in this case, both of these work. We end up with our answer as negative 9 comma 5. You can also write it as 5 comma negative 9. You'll be marked right either way.